bedroom. Now, when they're finished, okay, when they do their thing in the bedroom, now the couple, listen, is officially recognized as husband and wife, married in the eyes of Yahweh. In other words, until they experience that intimacy with each other, they're not officially recognized in the eyes of Yahweh. Now, the Nisiyun gives them recognition. The Nisiyun gives them recognition in the eyes of man. But it is the Simcha that gives them recognition in the eyes of Yahweh.
Hallelujah, Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Yahweh does not recognize the Hebraic couple as a married couple until they become Basar Echad, or one flesh. Isn't that neat? Because the threefold cord is not easily broken. And so today we have the reception, we have the receiving line, we've got courting and dating, everything completely unscriptural, just like today is Rosh Hashanah, and the world doesn't have a clue. There's not a politician in the United States probably that has a clue, except maybe a handful like John Stembridge and people like that. You think about how slick the enemy is, Satan, S-A-10. The word of Yahweh says in Ezekiel 28, there is a veil that covers the nations. There's a veil of deception that literally covers the nations, so that man cannot see. That tonight is, do we honor man or do we honor Yahweh when we recognize the biblical calendar? Yahweh.
Man, Yahweh.
And in the Greco-Roman system, you're married when you pay some guy $50 and he signs right there, and you take it to the state and the state stamps it. In Yahweh's eyes, you can go through Sedukim, you can go through Eruzin, you can go through Nisiyun, until there was a physical connection and intimacy in the marriage chamber. There was no official husband and wife. That's why the so-called church can't be his bride. They refuse to enter into the intimacy of obedience. The only way to enter into the intimacy is through obedience. They haven't read the Ketuvah. They don't have a Ketuvah. Hello?
Submission to the Yahweh.
What happened to their Ketuvah? Well, it's been nailed to the cross, really. Well, if the Ketuvah, or the marriage contract, the conditions in terms of marriage, have been nailed to the cross, then how do you know how to please your bridegroom? And if you don't know how to please your bridegroom, how are you going to get ready? So Israel is the bride of Yeshua.
Amen.
What kind of Israel? Messianic, Nazarene, renewed, covenant Israel.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Don't tell me that the Sunday system or the apostate Jewish system, who has not yet learned how to cry Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh, because they think Hashem is his name and they don't want to unlearn error. Neither of those leavened houses are his bride. Rather, it is a redeemed remnant from both houses that have learned to forsake the common and adorn herself with the clean, the redeemed remnant from the house of Yehudah and the house of Ephraim. They and they alone are the bride of Yeshua, because they have read the terms not once but twice, and through obedience they are willing to be intimate with Yeshua. Yeshua said, you want love? Here's love. Ready? You want to get down in biblical love? You want to get down? Turn to your neighbor and say, you want to get down?
Want to get down?
Yeshua said, here's how to get down with me in the spirit. Keep my commandments. If you want to get intimacy, if you want to love me, if you want to have agapeo with me, unconditional love, keep my commandments. Well, excuse me, Master, where do we find these commandments? Well, I don't know, because my pastor told him that the Torah has been nailed to the cross. That's right. And so rather than a bride, you are an orphan. Don't tell me you don't need Torah. The Hebraic wedding and customs shows how we need Torah, just to know the terms and the conditions of the covenant. Without Torah, we don't even know the terms or the conditions. Does it make any sense?
Yes.
Good times. Good
Baruch
times.
Hashem Yahweh.
12 times.
So we go from Nisiyun, where we are married, where the Hebrew couple has their crowns, they're married in the eyes of man, and they run for the bedroom, the crowns fall off, and there's no... Isn't that what the 24 elders know? Their crowns are off because they've entered intimacy.
Amen.
They've read the ketuvah and acted on the ketuvah, and they're casting their crowns at Yeshua's feet because they don't need them anymore. They're now in the bridal chamber.
Hallelujah.
They're now in the intimate bedroom setting with esposo. What a mean Yahweh. Isn't it better to do it the American way, Angel? Meet a chick, get drunk, and have a good time. How good? Go right from the bar to the toilet bowl. So you can throw up. And then they wake up the next morning and go, I had a party, and I had a good time. Really? Was that you throwing up? Sick, man. The world is sick. The church is sick. Sick. Better keep my crown on until I get home. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Get Nina back in here. Get Nina back in here. Now, if she's old enough to learn how to curse from adults, she could learn the word of Yahweh from
That's
adults.
right. Amen. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
So part 4 is simcha. And when there's a simcha, meaning a joy, a naches, a happiness between the husband and the wife, now Yahweh sees that as an official marriage. And same with us. When he sees that the joy of Yahweh, Nehemiah 8:10, is our strength.
Hallelujah.
When the joy of Yahweh is our strength, and now we keep his commandments, and we love him because he first loved us, and he told us how to keep on loving him. He never casts us out of the bridal chamber. We never leave the bedroom, the spiritual bedroom of intimacy. All the preparations were worthwhile. Only Israel can inherit this. But wait a second. There's something else here. Go with me to Shemot 24. Is anyone enjoying?
Hallelujah.
Shemot 24 and 6. Shemot 24 and 6.
Excellent.
Moshiach took half the blood, put it on the basin, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Amen? And Moshe took, verse 8, Moshe took the blood, sprinkled it on the people, saying, this is the blood of the covenant. Now listen, I told you earlier that everything Yahweh does with his people Israel is through a blood covenant. The perfect bride who went through the Hebraic process of Shedukin, Erusin, Nisiyun, during her simcha, in order to confirm the ketuvah. What was the ketuvah? The agreement, the contract. In order to confirm the ketuvah, she had to bleed. And the only way a woman could bleed on her wedding night is if she was a virgin, an alma, a betula. And so in Hebraic society, most women who got married were betula, or alma, meaning their full loyalty, their full love, their full dedication was to the man of the contract. And we as Israel, our full love and dedication must only be to the man of the contract. That's why most marriages today, in heaven's eyes, I know this is going to challenge you, but I don't really care. In heaven's eyes, are not legitimate because most women getting married today are not betula. Hey, you're going to follow Torah, you can't have the sweet parts and chew out the parts that are tough to chew. According to heaven, in order for a marriage to be set apart and pure in the eyes of Yahweh, the bride must be betula. Oh, wait a second, Rabbi, but now I got saved and I realized that was before. Some of you ladies may say, well, I'm not a virgin because that was before salvation. Okay, so the blood of Yeshua is your substitutionary vicarious, not just your substitutionary vicarious atonement, but your vicarious virgin shedding of blood. In other words, now that you're saved and you're keeping yourself pure for the man of Yahweh's choosing, and I strongly suggest you go through this process, because if you choose your husband, honey, you're going to be on the plane to Puerto Rico before you know it. All right? So you've tried everything else. You've looked at the world. Their example is ample example that that is not the way to choose your future lifelong partner. Let the rabbi do it. Because if I see you faithful and walking in the ways of Yahweh, I'm not going to put you together with someone who's not committed to the things of Yahweh. Okay, you say, well, Rabbi, I don't know if I trust you that much, but do you trust Yahweh? And do you trust that I am his mouthpiece? Well, if you do, then you need to follow Yahweh's patterned way for Hebraic wedding. Are you with me? Baruch Hashem, yes, you're not. That's okay.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
So what happens if you're not a virgin? Okay, well, you can't undo the past, but now you're a believer. You're a new creature in Messiah Yeshua, 2 Corinthians 5:17. All things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. Now do it right. Okay, you were divorced 3 times. Okay, you failed because you chose your husband. Your husband chose you instead of letting the spiritual chain of command do the shedukim. You can't undo the past, but you can submit to the future. And so the blood of Yeshua has made you a virgin all over again. 2 Corinthians 5:17, if any man is Moshiach, all things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. You can't undo your past, but don't repeat the errors of the past in the future. There are people in this congregation that would make splendid couples, but they're too stubborn. And it's not the way they were raised in their hometown. But you want to be raised in your hometown's customs or in the ways of Israel? I want to be raised in the ways of Israel. That takes faith. You talk about faith. That takes faith to come to Yahweh and say, you prepare the whole thing, take all the pressure off of me and put it on Yahweh. What a wonderful escape. Take all the pressure off of you making the right decisions and let Yahweh choose your partner. Or your parents, if they're walking in obedience to the blood and to Torah. So what is the fourth part of the Hebraic wedding? Simcha. La 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 la. And the bride and the bridegroom are in the bridal chamber making heavenly music, and Yahweh's going, all right, all right. And in those days, because they followed Yahweh's ways, there was a blood covenant cut between a husband and a woman. It is not a contract. Listen to me. Today, in modern, can we talk? In modern society, what is a wedding certificate? It's a contract. That's who told you to make a contract with your spouse. You're supposed to enter a blood covenant with your spouse. Everyone in this room who's married, most of us, entered into a contract, a wedding contract. The contract is between the couple and Yahweh, not between the husband and the wife. Are you getting this?
Yeah.
I'll say it again. The contract is between you and Yahweh, not between the husband and the wife. But in modern society, it's no. The marriage certificate is a contract between who? Between the husband and the wife. Up is down, left is right, black is white, bitter is sweet, evil is good. It's all screwed. And what do? We think we're smarter than the screwed up system, so we copy and mimic the screwed up system, expecting to get different results. You know what the definition of an idiot is? Someone who keeps doing the same thing wrong and expects to get different results. And don't be an idiot except for Yeshua. Don't be a fool except for Yeshua. Is anyone enjoying? Well, I am. So the fourth part of the Hebraic wedding is the simcha, or the consummation of the relationship. But check this out. What a mean Yahweh. Okay, now what do we do in a modern wedding? Boy bangs girl, girl bangs boy, off to the Bahamas. Can't believe I said that. Off to the Bahamas. Right? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? And what happens in the Bahamas? They start planning the house and the cars and the dogs and this, everything. The wheels are turning. Martha, don't translate that, honey. The wheels are turning, and the pressure. And can we talk? Most couples have their first fight when? Come on.
Wedding.
Either the night of the wedding or during the honeymoon. Huh? Me and Rivka were the first married couple to not have a fight on our honeymoon. If you believe that, I have a bridge that I'd like to show you after the service. I mean, we do it the world's way, we copy the world, and we expect different results. Are you with me? And check this out. The simcha in a modern wedding, which has become a contract, not a blood covenant, lasts for how long?